Hello and welcome to this week's video. Thank you so much for joining me. It's Allison from Cashflow Options. So let's have a look at the overall market. Best way to do that is to look at the SPX. So we look at this, and what we use is our opening range, which is over 90% accurate. We do this on the first trading day of the month and on the third Friday of the month. Monthly options expiration. So the third Friday of the month was the Friday just gone. We put the high and the low of the third Friday of the month. If the SPX breaks above the upper line, we're in bullish opening range mode on the market. If it's below, we're in bearish opening range mode. If it's in the middle, we are in neutral. So we just broke above the opening range mode here, which shows we are in bullish mode right now. I would like another day of closing above 4188.72 to really confirm this, but technically speaking, we are in bullish opening range. Now, that's one of the things we look for. Now, if we look at the overall market, when we look at our workspace, we can see the big reason why the markets were up was because the NASDAQ and tech was up. Now, tech or the NASDAQ was up 1.71%. All of the indexes were up. I wouldn't say substantially, but they certainly were up, certainly led by tech. Gold still continuing to move higher, and I think going forward, gold and silver will do well. Now, if we look at the different sectors, now obviously, technology moving up, that is the largest sector in the market. So we look at XLK, which is a way of looking at technology, up 1.78, just getting now above its 21 EMA, a double bottom here, bouncing off that pattern there and then continuing to move higher. A lot of tech stocks that were beaten down. Some people investors are coming in to buy some of those, maybe some of the more known names, right? A lot of the FANG stocks getting a lot of attention as well. So that's causing the markets to move higher yesterday. Energy doing pretty well. That was up 1%, and consumer discretionary having a decent day after, really quite a few days of selling in the market. So that's what happened yesterday, but let's have a look about some potential ideas, and let me show you, well, before I do that, let me show you this, right? Sorry about that. What I'll do is I'll show you some of the things that we've been doing, right? Because a lot of people are good at talking, but what actually have you been trading? Just don't want to hear about you talking the whole time. What have you actually been doing? So ATOS is a trade that we did. We just closed it out on Friday just gone, a couple of days ago. And what we did is we saw a bull call, we saw a bull flag, okay, breaking out here. And we also saw very high implied volatility compared to historical volatility. So that means that the option premiums were very expensive. Now, when they're expensive like that, you want to sell, not buy. So what we did is we set up an in-the-money covered call on this. Now, I don't normally do covered calls, but this is in this instance, it worked out beautifully. Because what it did is it gave us a 32.5% return in 11 days. This is now closed out, realized profit, money in the bank. So that was a beautiful trade, 32.5% in 11 days. But you've also got to remember about the risk. So we also had 23% downside protection. In other words, the stock would have to have moved more than 23% for us to be losing any money. So it was a really good trade. It worked out perfectly. The stock has now been sold at $3, where we sold the call option, and we've realized our 32.5% return. PLTR was another one that we did. We did an at-the-money covered call on this. Again, not something we normally do. Some very good volume here. And what we did is we sold the 20 strike call. It finished above 20 come Friday, just gone, and we realized a 7.39% return on that particular trade. Another position that we've done very well on was with the VIX. Now, if you go back and look at some of my videos here on the YouTube channel, you can see that I've been talking about the market potentially moving higher lower for some time. There's a lot of warning signs out there. But right now, we've got to trade what we see and not what we think. But do we have some bullish positions set up right now? Yes. But do we have hedges as well? Absolutely. Do we have positions that will make us a lot of money if the market was to fall, which it had been doing just recently? Okay. So what I did is I told my members to set up a call option here on the VIX. I said it's a very smart idea now with the VIX being so low to set up a call option right now on the VIX. And you can see that the VIX, which is the fear gauge of the market, moved from 1668 and in 3 days got as high as 2838. So it had a very big move. It moved up 32% in a day. So my members were cashing in on that day. Many of them sending in their results. This is just a couple of them. When the VIX spikes like that and you've got these call options, you take advantage, you take the profits while they are there. So this particular member had a 62% gain or $7,000 in profits. Yes, it was a happy day. Stephen, well done. Again, another one of our members here, Tom, cashing out as the VIX spiked 32% in a day. So, some fantastic trading ideas right there. And there's some of the things that we have been doing. So let me show you a little bit of a screener that you could do now, just to look for some stocks that are moving strongly with good volume. Okay, so we're here on FinViz, and you click here on screener. Okay, just let me show you this, try and help you guys out a bit more. Then we come over here and we click on all. Now, the high short interest strategy that I showed you guys in the last video, got a lot of feedback from that, so I appreciate that, and really does mean a lot to me. And again, any feedback that you've got, before we show the screener here, any feedback that that you do have, just send it to support@cashflowoptions.com.au, right? I get all the emails from there, so I really appreciate all the feedback from the last video, so thank you very much. And any feedback that you've got from this video as well, anything you liked, any positive stuff, and anything that you'd like us to improve as well. So, FinViz. Now, another trade that we did have on as well, which I want to tell you about, I forgot to tell you about this one, was AG. Now, we've got a trade here on AG, which I think is the #1 silver stock. Okay, now this particular stock, what we've got with this one is we have a riskless trade. Sean, how can you have a riskless trade? Well, none of our own money is at risk. So what we did is we've bought the 17 strike call. Again, talking about what we did, not just theory and fluff. Can't stand that, right? You want to be able to come in here and see some actual trades. So the #1 silver stock, in my opinion, okay, what we did is we bought the 17 strike call all the way out to the 21st of January 2023, right? So a couple of years from now, almost a couple of years from now, okay? And what we did in the meantime is we actually were creating spread strategies on this stock as well. So we were setting up sometimes credit spreads and debit spreads to actually bring in income while we hold the long-term call option. We're long-term bullish, but we want to be able to make money and pay for that call option. So what a great strategy to be able to buy the 17 strike call out to 2023 and then set up short-term spreads to bring in cash flow in the meantime. Now, what we've been able to do by actually creating these spread positions, which are creating us income, high probability spread trades, what we've done is we've been able to bring in enough money to cover the whole cost of that 17 strike call option all the way out to 2023. That particular call option, we are $32 in profit. This is the power of options, my friends. If you know how to buy long-term options and then set up spreads, cash flow strategies that will bring in income to pay off and reduce your risk in that long-term option, then you've got something. Now you're reducing risk. One of the things you should do as a trader at all times is reduce risk. So holding a long-term option, you've got a long-term view on something, in this case silver for us, also on gold as well. But what we're also doing is then creating spread positions which bring in regular income, okay, which has worked out absolutely beautifully for us, and to a point now where we have no risk in this trade, none of our own money at risk. So it's a beautiful thing. So we've done that very, very successfully, and we are now sitting in a profitable position. Even if AG drops to 0 now, we will not lose any money. I love that, right? So that's another trade that we did, and is looking quite good. We do have a gold trade on, which is looking very good. Have a look at this one. Oh, happy days. Look at that. Moving up beautifully. Actually creating a bull flag right here with very good volume. So this is a very good gold stock, right? About a 4% yield on this stock as well. And we've been doing very, very, very well with this as well. But I think a potential position here if it does break out of this bull flag. Some good volume on the move up as well. So I like the look of that if you wanted another particular idea. So there's some of the things that we're actually doing, not just talking about. Now, let's have a look at this screener. So Signal. We click on Signal and we go to unusual volume, right? It's something that's really moving with a lot of other people involved in it, okay? Now, what I would then do is I would come here and click on optionable, right? It's got to be optionable, right? One of the most powerful, flexible investment vehicles on the planet, options, hands down, right? There's no dark pools in the options market. A dark pool is a private exchange where, institutions in particular hide their transactions from the public. And this is true in stocks, futures, and Forex. In options, though, there are no dark pools. There's no private exchanges. Every trade that goes across the tape, we can see it. So fully transparent market, which is why we utilize it. Plus very flexible. Hold long-term positions and then pay them off before they expire. Oh, I love it. Anyway, optionable. So it's got to be optionable. What I would say is average volume over 300,000. 500,000 or even 1 million is better, but 300,000 is okay. Now, from there, I would probably go to performance, okay? And I want it to be, today I want it to be up, okay? So we've already selected the signal up here, unusual volume, optionable, over 300,000, and today it's up. Now, that gives us 25 potential candidates to look at. Doesn't take that long to do this. So what I would then do is click on basic, okay? And what this will do is bring up, some of the fundamental metrics for each stock and then also the chart itself. Now, what I'm looking for is a charting pattern here, right? I want a nice charting pattern, in this case, a bullish charting pattern. This can be done on the downside as well. I want a bullish charting pattern here, a bull flag, an inverse head and shoulders, an ascending triangle, something like that. And breaking above a resistance level would be perfect. Now, something like this is looking pretty good, right? It's only $3.98. Don't normally trade stocks that low, but the problem with this is it's moved up almost 25%. So I don't really want to be chasing that. This one's right up against the resistance level, so I wouldn't really want to be having anything to do with that. SPCE, Richard Branson, this one's had a big move, okay, almost a 28% move. This stock has moved up dramatically, as you can see. Look at the volume come in here, 131 million. Wow. Normal average volume is around 14 million. So that's a lot of people stepping into this. And certainly a lot of option traders are as well. Just incredible. 257,000 call options, 136,000 put options have crossed the tape, 6 times the intraday average. Very, very interesting here. But, obviously the risk to reward that you can set up with specific option trades and strategies is pretty amazing. So, again, using asymmetrical risk, very small risk for a much bigger potential upside, and obviously options allow you to do that. And high probability trading as well, when we're talking about spreads, and very conservative trading. So, obviously a lot of people looking at this because of the amount of options here. Big move up, big volume attached to that as well. And this is very, very interesting. Now, I thought there was something here that I saw, something to do with Virgin. Yeah, I think the reason for it moving up was a successful test flight, okay? A space flight here was very successful, and obviously as a result, that's why that stock moved up dramatically. Does it have short interest? Fintel is a good place to have a look at that. Yeah, it does. Look at the short volume here, over 40 million. They haven't updated the short volume ratio here, but as of yesterday, it was 29. So that's pretty high. So, this big move up now that we've seen, and the fact that it does have a lot of high short interest, this could see this stock move even higher. There are very low risk ways of chasing this with option spreads. I wouldn't just go out and try and chase it now, but yeah, could be interesting, right? Keep a bit of an eye on that one. Nothing really dramatic there. Don't like the big wick here, right, where buyers tried to drive it up and sellers drove it back to close here. Nothing really grabbing me here. Look at this move. My goodness me, what has that stock been doing? Nothing really there. That one is broken out, but again, bit of a wick on the top and right up against this trend line. That's going to have to deal with that. Already had its move. Okay, this is one of the ways of doing it. It's not the only way. But looking at something with some good volume, right? Just to try and help you guys and show you different ways of doing this. Nothing there that's really grabbing my attention. This has had a move, but right up against this level here, this prior high. Nothing confirming there at the moment for me. Already had its move from 13 up to 18. It's a good move, but already gone. This one's already gone as well. Don't want to chase anything. There are ways of doing it, but that's not what I'm after here. So let's have a look. We've got one more page here to look through. You know, as you can see, it doesn't take long. Okay, BYND bouncing off this trend line here and the 100 support level. It'll be interesting to see whether that continues to move up. Nothing there. Okay, so here we go. CVLT. So we've got a bit of an ascending triangle here. Okay, it's now broken to the upside, taken out this prior high. So this is interesting and with some pretty good volume as well. So that's not too bad. Okay, don't mind the look of that. So let's have a look at that on the chart. Right, always have a look at it on your charting software so you can confirm it. You can see it clearly. So we can see this ascending triangle here. Good volume here. Okay, normal volumes, average volumes around 300,000. This is almost triple that, over 900,000. So good volume here, breaking out here above this a trend line here and out of this bullish ascending triangle. So that could be a good potential idea, right? Looking at that one, obviously this level here, this approximately 70 level would be your line in the sand, would be your risk level. If it then closed back inside of this ascending triangle, you would close the trade out for a small loss. Reason being, well, the ascending triangle is one of the edges, one of the reasons why you're getting in. If it closes back below that line, then your reason for getting in is no longer valid. So that would be the risk level, and you know, looking for this to at least have a move to 80, maybe beyond. So you know, that's something that's moving with some good volume. Be keeping a bit of an eye on that one. I don't know whether it's got any short interest there as well. Not too sure whether it does have short interest. Don't think it does. No. So definitely no short interest to worry about there. Okay, so it looks like it's been producing some pretty good results. You know, what drives a stock to move higher? Earnings growth, right? So there's been some pretty good performance as of late, looking pretty reasonable. So, you know, that's a potential idea right there. Okay, so, you know, that's one way of doing it. Now, another one that I'm keeping an eye on, just to try and add some value here, STT. This one here has a bullish charting pattern, has an inverse head and shoulders. So we've got the left shoulder, the head, and the right shoulder here. Hasn't broken out yet, so you couldn't get in, but this is certainly one that I would have on my watch list for now. Okay, so the other thing I would mention to everyone here is also this. I'm actually running a special training on Wednesday, the 2nd of June. Now, this is going to teach you about high probability income trading, okay? Never worry about picking a stock's direction again. Make money and be wrong about the direction of the stock, which is a beautiful thing, right? High probability trading is one of the ways that you can use spreads. Sean, what's a spread? It's where you buy and sell an option at the same time. So I teach you, you know, what is a spread trade, what strikes to choose, what type of stocks do you trade spreads on, and what are stocks you avoid. I've got a particular spread trade that I've just set up with a 5-to-1 risk to reward. I'll show you about how to find those. A spread trade that has a 261% return or more. How to set up a spread trade on Bitcoin, one of the ones I'm looking at now, with a potential 393% return, okay? Not dollar, 393% return. How one Bitcoin trade can be set up right now with only a $200 risk and potential upside of $1,595 in profit. You can also set up very low risk trades that have a huge potential upside. Okay, the probabilities are lower because again, you're always trying to work out the potential risk and the potential reward, or you're trading that off against a higher probability trade. That's pretty much how it works. So this one is a very low risk, not as high a probability, but very low risk, $40 of risk. That's it for a $217 potential upside. Gold trade with 214% potential upside in just a matter of weeks. Diagonals and talking about time spreads or calendar spreads. And very importantly, how to set these spreads up, preferably with high probability income trading and maybe some more aggressive type spread trades as well. And how you can have these as set and forget. So you can set 3 or 4 of these up a month, maybe more, and you have your stop and your profit taker and the actual trade itself all set up at the same time, so you can make it set and forget. If every trade that you have is at least 2-to-1 risk to reward, you have found an incredible way to make a living, my friends. That's what it's all about. It's not about how many winning trades you have. Okay, as soon as someone says to me, Sean, how many do you get right out of 10? I know straight away they know nothing about trading. The best traders on planet Earth are right 6 times out of 10. So it's not about your winning trades, it's how much you make on your winning trades and how much you lose on your losing trades. And if you can set these up so that the potential reward is obviously higher than your risk, 2-to-1 minimum trader's equation to make money, and you can have them as set and forget. Because the biggest enemy in our trading most of the time is us, right? So I want to avoid the biggest enemy, which is us, and have these as set and forget, and structure these trades with asymmetrical risk skewed in your favor. So it's going to be a fantastic training and webinar if you guys want to attend this. If you do want to attend this, this is something that all my members will be attending, but you guys could attend as well if you wanted to. If you want to attend, send an email to support@cashflowoptions.com.au and we can show you sort of how to take your spread option trading to another level and really see the full power of how it works. So send any feedback that you've got to support@cashflowoptions.com.au, and also if you wanted to attend that free training as well. And look forward to seeing you there on the 2nd of June. All right, my friends, I hope you found that useful. Thank you so much for listening. My name's Sean Allison. All the best, and bye for now.